Hey everyone, and welcome back to Mindful English Talks. I'm John, and I'm really excited about our topic today because it's something I think we've all felt at some point, that crushing feeling when life just hits hard, and suddenly you feel like something inside you is fundamentally wrong or broken.
Absolutely, John. And I'm Angelina, joining you today. It's such a universal experience, isn't it? Whether it's a big heartbreak, a major career setback, or just a series of little disappointments, that voice in your head starts whispering, "You're damaged. You're not good enough. You're broken." It's a really powerful and often isolating feeling.
It is. I remember a few years ago, after a significant failure in a project I'd poured everything into, I genuinely felt like my ability, my whole professional identity, was just shattered. Like, how could I have let that happen? What's wrong with me? And that what's wrong with me really felt like I am broken.
That's such a vivid example, John. And it's so common. We internalize these setbacks as personal flaws, right? But the truth, the powerful truth we want to explore today, is that you're not broken. You're healing. It's a completely different perspective, and it changes everything.
Healing, not broken. I love that reframe. Because when you say broken, it implies an end state, like something is irreparable, like a vase that's shattered. But healing implies a process, a journey, a return to wholeness, even if it looks a little different than before.
Exactly. And healing is messy. It's not linear. Some days you wake up and you feel a surge of energy, like, yeah, I'm ready to tackle the world. And then the very next day, you might feel exhausted, emotional, maybe even revert a little. And that's okay. That doesn't mean you're failing. It just means you're human and you're in the midst of a very real, very complex process.
Oh, that hits home. I used to get so frustrated with myself on those down days. I'd think, I was doing so well yesterday, what happened? Am I regressing? And that internal criticism would just pile on the original pain. It's hard to remember that healing isn't a race or a perfectly smooth ascent.
It really is. And this is where discipline comes in, but not in the way you might typically think about it. We often associate discipline with strict rules, rigid schedules, or pushing yourself to the brink. But in the context of healing, discipline is much gentler, much more about consistent, compassionate action.
That's a great distinction. So, what does discipline look like when you're healing? Is it still about showing up even when you don't feel like it?
Yes, but with self-compassion woven in. It's about consistently choosing growth over giving up. It means rebuilding healthy habits even when recovery feels incredibly slow. Maybe it's making sure you still get enough sleep, even if your mind is racing. Maybe it's going for that short walk, even when you just want to curl up. It's showing up for yourself in small, consistent ways, day after day, not punishing yourself for where you are, but supporting yourself for where you want to go.
I think for me, a big part of that discipline was just acknowledging the feelings. Not pushing them away, but saying, okay, I feel really sad today, and that's valid. And then still doing one small thing for myself, like making a healthy meal instead of ordering takeout, even if it was a struggle. It's like saying, I'm feeling this pain, but I'm also still caring for the person experiencing it.
Exactly. It's that subtle but profound shift. It's about tending to your wounds rather than ignoring them or chastising yourself for having them. And trusting that progress is happening, even when you can't see it on the surface. Like a bone knitting back together, you don't see it daily, but the healing is happening internally.
That's such a powerful analogy, the bone knitting back together. Because you also see the casts, right? Or the physical therapy. Those are the visible parts, the discipline. But the real work is happening inside. And speaking of visible signs, let's talk about scars.
Oh, scars. What an interesting topic. Historically, or maybe culturally, we sometimes view scars as imperfections, as something to hide, a sign of past damage. But the truth is, scars are incredible. They're proof.
Proof of survival. That's what I always come back to. I have a few physical scars from childhood accidents, and while they might not be perfect skin, they tell a story. They're a reminder that I went through something tough, and I made it through. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a badge of resilience.
Exactly. And it's the same with emotional scars, the ones we carry inside, the scars from heartbreak, from disappointment, from betrayal. They're not signs that you're weak or that you failed. They're proof that you faced incredible challenges, felt profound pain, and you kept going, you survived. And actually you learned, you grew.
Yeah, every challenge really does shape a wiser, stronger version of you. It's like you gain new armor, or maybe new strategies for navigating the world that you wouldn't have had if you hadn't gone through that experience. It's not about being glad for the pain, but recognizing the growth that emerged from it.
Precisely, and that's why it's so important not to rush your healing. We live in a society that often glorifies bouncing back quickly, of immediately being over it. There's this pressure to pretend everything is perfect, to put on a brave face, even when inside you're still reeling.
Definitely. Social media especially can amplify that pressure. Everyone else seems to be living their best life, right? And here you are, feeling a bit wobbly, still trying to figure things out. It makes you feel like you're behind, or that your healing isn't happening fast enough.
Exactly. But healing doesn't have a deadline. It's not a race to the finish line. Rushing it, or pretending you're okay when you're not, actually hinders the process. It's like trying to put a band-aid on a broken leg. You might cover it up, but the underlying issue isn't being addressed.
So, how do we push back against that? How do we give ourselves permission to take our time and really be present with our healing journey?
I think it starts with radical self-acceptance, accepting where you are right now, flaws and all, pain and all, and then making a conscious choice. I choose growth over giving up, even if growth looks like taking a nap today, even if growth looks like asking for help, which can be incredibly hard for some of us.
Oh, asking for help is huge. It's a sign of strength, not weakness, to admit you can't do it all alone. And recognizing that growth isn't always about huge leaps. Sometimes it's just about not retreating, just holding your ground.
Absolutely. It's about respecting your journey. No two paths to healing are identical. Your pace is your pace, your experiences are uniquely yours, and what you need to heal might be different from what someone else needs. It requires introspection, honesty, and a lot of patience with yourself.
Patience is probably the hardest one for me, personally. I'm a fix-it-now kind of guy. So, when things are emotionally challenging, I want to fast forward to the healed part. But I've learned that you can't skip the chapters. You have to read them, feel them, and integrate them.
Me too, John. I resonate with that fix-it-now mentality. But that's where the discipline of patience comes in. It's the discipline of sitting with discomfort, trusting the process, and understanding that some things just need time. Just like a physical wound needs time to close and form a scar, an emotional wound needs its own timeline. You can't rush the knitting of a soul.
That's beautifully put, the knitting of a soul. And that perspective, I think, also frees us from constantly feeling like we have to justify our feelings or our process to anyone else. It's yours, it's personal, and it's valid.
Exactly. Because at the core of it, this isn't about fixing something that's broken beyond repair. It's about recognizing the incredible resilience of the human spirit. It's about understanding that every single challenge you've faced, every setback, every disappointment, hasn't broken you. It's actually shaping you, refining you.
It's making you more robust, more empathetic, more insightful. You learn what you're truly capable of. You discover strengths you never knew you had. That broken feeling, that temporary illusion, really just masks the deep, powerful work that's happening beneath the surface.
And that work is turning you into a more complete, more authentic version of yourself. A person who understands pain, yes, but also understands resilience, courage, and the profound capacity for self-renewal. So the next time that little voice tries to convince you that you're broken, gently remind it, no, I'm not broken. I am healing, and I am becoming stronger through everything I've overcome.
That's such a powerful takeaway, Angelina, to remember that perspective shift. It truly is empowering, and it reminds us to treat ourselves with the same care and understanding we'd offer a friend who's going through a tough time.
Absolutely, John. Extend that same grace to yourself. Be your own best advocate. Your journey is uniquely yours, and it's a testament to your incredible strength. So take your time, trust your process, and know that every step, even the wobbly ones, is a step towards becoming stronger.
Thank you so much, Angelina, for this incredibly insightful and compassionate conversation. And thank you all for tuning in to Mindful English Talks. We hope this episode offered you some comfort, some perspective, and a renewed sense of your own amazing resilience.
Yes, thank you for being with us. Remember, you're not alone in your journey, and you are far more capable than you might give yourself credit for. Until next time, be kind to yourselves and keep choosing growth. We'll talk to you soon.